everybody, welcome back to Animation 201, because you graduated Animation 101 and you're ready for more. So I've heard. Hello Alex, Susan, Voodoo Val, hello my love, Cody Bear, Reverb Mike, and obviously Uma, my number one pupil Penny. I hope you're all doing wonderfully today. The cheesecake, the cheeseburger that we saw earlier was so delicious. It was so delicious looking. But yes, we're ready for more animation things. Now, if you haven't done Animation 101 already, we learned some beginning levels of the 12 principles of animation, as well as how to use After Effects and things in that nature. But we're ready to move on and learn some new things. So, what are we going to learn this time? We're learning the secondary action. That's one of the further 12 principles of animation. Hello, Becca. Welcome in, lovely. Happy lurk, Devlin. Happy lurk. So we're learning secondary action. But to understand what secondary action is, we need to know another what first. And that is, what is primary action? It's the main movement in a scene or the most important action in the shot. In other words, a verb. So standing, sitting, picking up something, popping something, or in my example, pushing a button. Now, the primary action is pushing a button and it's very clear what's happening, but without the secondary action, it lacks personality. So, what is secondary action? Secondary action is a voluntary action driven by the character that adds depth, personality, and entertainment. In other words, an adverb. So we could do something angrily, lazily, nervously, or in my case, evilly. So if we assign that to pushing the button, and we add some eye movements in there. We add a little shoulder raise, a different action. We even raise the arm up to prepare to push the button and then hit the button. It suddenly changes that really drab button press into something that looks like there's more of a story behind it. So secondary actions really do bring your scene and your characters to life and tells a whole story thanks to how you portray them. Benjamin Buttons. Reverb Mike, that's fantastic. Alex said, what a great series, you're so kind. Okay, so we get what primary action is and we get what secondary action is. But that means you've got mini games. So we've got Make Wake Up, Boo, Rest Day, Staircase, and Pizza Boy. This is your time to go and download the files. Welcome Maria. Welcome on in, lovely. Voodoo Val will drop in the link for the files down below, and I think they might already be in the description of the chat as well. Thank you, Val. Go ahead and download your files now, because we're going to be getting ready. And while I wait for you lot to grab your files and everything, if you have any questions, please let me know. Reverb Mike said every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Very true. And that also sounds like a fantastic animation, actually. Maybe we can get to that. But speaking of animations from the chat, think of some verbs and adverbs, including the people that are watching this back on the VOD. Type down some verbs and adverbs. So we might be able to use them later, or if we're able to, maybe in this mini game set as well. Easy, welcome on in, lovely. Okay, I think we're ready for exercise number 1. Wake up! So the primary action is this alarm clock that's ringing. The secondary action I've done by adding an expression on the face. I've even added a little leg with a foot that taps to let us know that this alarm clock is hasty. Whatever it wants it done now. It's not calm about it. It kind of wants it on the go. So when you open your file, welcome in, crazers. When you open your file and you press the space button, you'll notice that the only things that are done are the primary action. This is because I heard you want to step it up a little bit, so we're going to make it a little bit harder for you. It's down to you to create the secondary action. It doesn't have to be an angry face. It could be whatever you want. It could be anything. It could be a really goofy alarm clock. It could be a really sleepy alarm clock that maybe got shocked by something and then made the sound. Alarm clock, not messing around. Nope. This alarm clock means business. And yes, that is my sister. The one being woken up is sis. I don't know why she's waking up at 3 a.m, but this is her. So now that we've got our file, you might notice that the layers, there's only one, even though there's clearly more in the scene. I have done this to make it easier for us to do what we need to do. As we go along, we're going to have to open it up. So let's take a look to the left. We've got our little hide all layers button. It's like a little what now over a little counter. If you do click that, you will see all the other layers that are in there. This is also really handy for when you're animating on your own or you're doing things inside After Effects and there's too many layers to see. All you have to do is head over here, turn on the layer with the head so it looks like they're hidden, and then press the hidden button. I love this. Yay, wow. Or is it 3 p.m? I mean, that's the question. Wait, why? He's on the call. Oh no. Okay, so since we have to do the secondary action, I'm gonna go with the angry face, but I tend to do the last face still feature first and then work backwards. Your order is completely up to you. So I know that when the clock rings, I want it to be shocked or wah, mouth open. So let's head on up to the top toolbar. Let's click and hold and go to the ellipse tool. Now you might have a red line going through. That means that your fill isn't on. So let's go ahead and click over here. Pick whatever color you like. I'm going with black and I'm going to turn off the stroke. You can do that by clicking the name stroke and clicking the line going through it. Now, note to self, wake up, boo, it's rest day. Annika, that's actually a whole sentence and I didn't even think about it. Oh, yes, Annika. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. When you do this, make sure that you don't have something already selected. If you do, that makes it into a mask and that's not what you want. So what we're gonna do, make sure we have nothing selected, then we click and drag. So now I've got my little mouth. Hey, Annika, how are you doing, lovely? I've got my shocked mouth. I'm happy with this. The piece that I've left available for you is something that you can use to parent it to. So the mouth has to stay with the face. So I'm going to go over here to my pick whip, click and drag it over to the back face. And now if we press the space button, we'll see it will go with the clock, which is perfect. Okay, cool. What next? Well, before we move on and add the other pieces, we're going to move our anchor. Don't forget, if the anchor's really far away, when we try to do anything like rotate, I push R for rotation, it's going to rotate from that anchor point. So we can either push Y for anchor. Don't ask me why, it's Y. You can absolutely change it if you'd like to, but yeah, we'll be all right. Or you can head on up and click that little box with all the arrows on it, and we'll click and drag it to the center of the mouth. That way, whatever we do, it's going to happen inside of it. Perfect. Don't forget to name your layers, because eventually, as we go further down, there's going to be a lot. So I'm going to call this mouth open. Awesome. You can also change the color to make it easy for you to do by glance. Reverb Mike said, move the eyeballs next to the timeline and save loads of time every day. I mean, Mike, it always sounds like you're coming up with something that sounds very legit. It's why, because why? Yeah. All right. So I've got this. Thankfully, the mouth kind of works like eyes, so we can add those later, but I'm going to add my eye lines. If we go up to the pen tab, the pen tool, and when you select it, you'll notice you've got a mask and a shape. We're not making a mask. We want to keep it on the shape. And I don't want the fill this time. So I'm going to put the line through it, go to stroke, and turn on solid color. Oh, now the reason why our mouth has changed color is because we had it selected. So let's undo that, make sure nothing's selected, and do it once more. There we go. Fill's not on, stroke's on. I'm going to click through here. So I've got my line there. It might be too small for me to see. She says, oh, the line's white. So let's click on the fill and let's make sure we change the color so we can actually see it. There you go. It's a button that gives you the anchor point. That's right. Becca said, I seriously spent hours the other day trying to figure out how to change the anchor point. Ah, well, I'm very glad you popped in to find out. Because it's why. Yeah. Why? Because I said so, said Mike. Absolutely. Voodoo Val said, don't you love it when Adobe Live solves a problem for you? I mean, if that's not the best advert, I don't know what is. So let's move the anchor again, because we don't know what we want to do with this later. Now we've got the eye. We could totally leave it like that, but I want it rounded. So let's click on the shape. I'm going to call this left eye. Open that up. Open up the contents. Open up the shapes. We're going to keep opening things. We're going to go to stroke. And where it says line cap, we turn it rounded. So now, instead of having to grab a square and like try to round off the end, it's right here. But it's in the properties panel now. Yes, that's right. I've noticed, I don't think I noticed the properties panel that much before, but here it is. So I've got this one. I'm going to have to move my anchor back, it seems. I'm going to duplicate it, try to make your life as easy as possible. You can right click your duplication and flip it. So now in this moment, this is you creating the face that you think you would like for your animation. I'll only do very brief ones to make sure that we can go see all of them, as each one kind of does something a little bit different, but still working towards the same end goal of secondary animation. So we need to make sure that this eye is connected to the face. How do we do that? Do you not remember? Make sure we grab the eyes. We've got two of them this time. Grab the pick whip, whoosh, click and drag it to the back face. So now if we press play, it would move as well. Fantastic. It's new. Oh, the properties tab is new. Okay, I thought so, because I was a bit like, I do want eyes as well. So I'm going to duplicate the mouth open and let's move it up. By us keeping the shapes really simple, we can pretty much tell a really simple story with a lot of emotion. So I'm going to call that the left pupe, the left pup, duplicate it, call it the right pup. Also, for those in the chat, give me an adverb, please. Let's store up some of these adverbs. I want happily, cheerfully, not the ones I've already said, that'll be cheating. And give me an adverb. I put my back down, flip it and reverse it. I mean, yes. Mike, you've got something for every occasion. At the moment, these are all connected, which is perfect. Now, I want my clock to look like it's sleeping first and then waking up. So I'm going to grab both of the eyebrow pieces. We're going to push P for position, click on the stopwatch. Now, because we've graduated from Animation 101, all of the things that we've learned from that one, we're putting into this one. So I will go over what they are and how we do things, but you're ready for something harder now. So this is where we want it to be after a little while. So I'm going to move my keyframes over there. And on the far left, we've got two little keyframes there. We're going to click that again. That way it makes the exact same keyframes. If you chose to grab both of the keyframes, copy and paste them, which makes a lot of sense, unfortunately, After Effects won't just paste both keyframes, it will keep pasting a whole new layer set. So we have to do it this way. I believe the next line is, not you reversing it, not you reversing it like this. Val, please. Lolly, get your adverbs. Yes, give me your adverbs. All right. So I want the eyes to be closed first. So I'm going to pull them down. So in the beginning, the eyes will start closed. We could probably get rid of the pupils until this point. There's more than one way to hide the pupils. We don't have to do it in the same way. We're probably going to use a mask just so we can show how it's done. We'll raise the eyes. We'll do an F9. There we go. That is an easy ease. Or if you right click keyframe assistant, click easy ease. That will slow things in and out for you. So now we've got the eyes being revealed. Hello, Mohammed. Welcome on in, lovely. Ironically, earnestly. Oh my gosh, could you imagine earnestly? Yes, Devlin. Let's grab the eyes. I want them to start somewhere else first. This is pretty much all the animation stuff you know how to do. So I'm really looking forward to what you lot create. I'm going to move the eyes over. Don't be afraid to have to play with your keyframes to get the right feel for what you're after. We'll go for this for now. I want a different mouth. So this mouth, I don't want it to start quite yet. So let's have a line mouth because it just woke up. So we know our first line is the right eye. So I'm just going to duplicate that, drag it down, get rid of the keyframes we had, and move it into place. Yesterday, today, last week. Oh, actually, that is an adverb, right? I mean an action adverb, one that we can use with verbs. So we've got our mouth. We've got the mouth. It's not impressed. We want the eyes to become angry. So R for rotate. There we go. I mean, you are giving me what I've asked for, Mike. Everywhere. Voodoo Val, don't be joining in with this. I grab my rotate, put down a keyframe because that's where I want it to stay initially. We can't have both of them selected, otherwise they won't rotate quite right. We'll make the eyebrows angry because it's annoyed. Okay, so by having it so close, that's actually that's a really funny transition. We can change the... when you're doing these kind of facial animations, it's best if you have like a mirror nearby or do the expression yourself so you can tell what happens. When we get angry, our eyebrows don't just turn, they actually go down as well. So that means I'm gonna have to move the position of the eyebrows down. Like the clock, wait, sneakily? Like the clock is sneaking up? Okay, can somebody's version of this mini game please be sneakily? Be prepared for these ones, because if you lot say them fast enough, the next one is a ghost. So think about one for a ghost. Think about one for a ghost, because maybe we can do it on that one. I think I've been scolded. I mean, when you come up with even everywhere, like, come now. Is my webcam frozen? Is my webcam frozen? It shouldn't be. Somebody let me know. The stream says it's doing okay. Oh, am I not? Oh, phew. Thank you. Don't scare me. We've been having words with our internet. And then we'll move the eyebrows down. I'm also going to move it over a little bit. Obviously, you will be much more careful. But oh my gosh, this is actually really funny. Because it's not as gentle as the example I had, I think it's actually slightly more funny. Okay, not frozen. Thank you. Okay, so now we've got our alarm clock being aware of what's happening, being annoyed for a second, and then we need the open mouth to come out. So this one is absolutely a line mouth, but I need the mouth to go in to reveal the other one. So let's do a scale. Can pull it back. What we can do is go to the orange layer and press U. Val said it's legit hilarious. Okay, see, yay! See, this is why I like doing the angry faces. I don't know why, but there's something hilarious about these. So we can tell when the ringing's gonna happen by pressing U. It reveals all. So we've got the scale here. I think it's my sister's eyes that does it for me. Look at that. She ain't ready for that. So we've got the scale. I want to scale it in. Nope, that's not in. Let's move the anchor because it's scaling from the corner, not from the center. There we go. We'll scale in. That's not in. We'll scale in enough to make it be like, you know, when you're really mad, or like when a kid's mad, they do this. Like their mouth gets really small. Cartoony, angry faces are very funny. See? You get me. Plot twist. My internet was the problem. No. Dun, dun, dun. So when you're doing this, I'd hope that you go into the graph editor and spend a little bit more time as what we've done before. But, you know, we got to hustle. So I've got this mouth. I'm actually going to jump into the graph editor now. I want it to hold for a bit longer. So selecting the keyframe I'm on, we hop in. We're going to select the first set and we're going to grab the first lever for ease out. Don't forget, the longer it is, the slower it is. The shorter it is, the faster it is. So by holding this out, it's going to hold this frame for longer. So it's going to take longer for the mouth to get smaller. But if I pull this in, it's going to smooth it out regardless, but it just tells it how fast or slow we want it to appear. So now I've got this. We go in here, push that in a little bit. We've got to do it before the ring. So let's make it really close. And then We need our open mouth to appear. I'm probably going to put it on top. The order is absolutely down to you. But I'm going to grab my scale. We know this is the size that we like. So let's move the other keyframe forward. Pull it in a little bit. If you make it start from within the other shape, when it appears, it's kind of a little bit more natural. There we go. Let's F9 or right click and go to keyframe assistant, easy ease. Eventually you'll find the keyframes help you work just a little bit faster. All right. There we go. It was an eruption. Bah! Yes, that's perfect. And if you really wanted to, you can absolutely take an eye, pop it where a foot could be, like in the example, or rewind the VOD back to see, and you could tap the circle to make it look like the person's agitated. So regardless of if we keep this face or not, you can tell that the alarm clock is ringing. The rest of it just kind of adds to it, which is exactly what we want. Yee! All right, I consider this done. So, not bad, right? Do a little bit harder, shall we? Oh, Mohammed, hello. Did you apply any Adobe After Effects preset filters? Actually, no. When I do my lives, Mohammed, I tend to use the bare bones, the very basics of it all. So once you download the file, you will have everything that you need. You won't need to do anything extra or do anything like that. Woohoo! Okay, we're ready for number 2, because we gotta hustle. So what's number 2? Think of your adverbs and verbs for this ghost. Ooh. The primary action is the ghost coming towards the screen. The secondary action will be anything else that we want to do onto the ghost. So for me in this one, I chose to make the ghost curious, but evil curious. Letitia said, love it. Yeah! Thank you, Val. So if you take a look at number 2, we've got a ghost doing something, going down and appearing. I'll take an adverb for this. Pixie, when can I get the link for Animation 101? Good news about that. That is actually in the description. So if you head on over to the YouTube version of this live, so you might need to click the bar on the top if you're watching in the Behance screen. Go ahead, click on that, take a look at the description, and I've got the links for each of the Animation 101s related to the 12 principles of animation. Cute boo with the evil face, even more frightening, yeah! But yes, please check the description. Otherwise, you can also check out my Behance channel, which is Pixipui on Behance. I also have the links there, including the files there too. Alrighty, so we've got our boo. If you've opened it and you've noticed there's a little bit of an expression box at the moment and we don't actually use that, all you have to do is click this tool next to the eyeball and turn off Show Expression Editor. So I've got a ghost. I do kind of like the evil stuff. So unless you lot give me an adverb that I can try to think of, we'll go with the evil. We'll go with the evil. I've revealed some more stuff to you that might be helpful. You're very welcome. Oh, thank you, Val. Val's posted lesson 1 and lesson 2 and lesson 3 right there. Thank you so much. Okay. So I want to, you can actually, when you're doing these, it's not just the face. You can totally add limbs as well if you want to. All of it works as long as the primary still makes sense. Whatever you do with the secondary is just like an icing on the top. Sassy. You want sassy? Oh my gosh, wait, okay. So the ghost is turning around. Wait, hold on. So I want like a kissy face. Oh, okay. Right. So let's see if we can do this quickly because we've got to make sure we can show everything. So I'm gonna make a face. I'm using the pen tool. When you're using the pen tool and you want to have a little bit more control, hold shift when you click on a space. That will allow you to edit a certain one. Okay, that's one eye. Let's duplicate majestically. Ah, I got sassy first. We could technically mix and match these. Okay, I know it doesn't look sassy right now, but just wait. We're gonna work fast. We know what the rules are. We're gonna add it to the head. My pleasure, George. Oh, thank you, lovely. Intensely? Not intensely. I mean, we could. Right, so we've got the eyes. I'm gonna add pupils to it. Let's make sure the fill is on. I'm gonna leave the stroke on. We're gonna duplicate this. You are absolutely right if you've noticed I've not labeled anything. This is truth. I've got two eyes in the same layer, and that's not gonna work because it will be hard for us to control it. So this is the right eye. Unnecessarily, voluntarily. Oh, Mohammed, yes. Hello, how to select the right Adobe Effects preset layer to apply for the project's composition to best match the app requirements. Ah, so in that, do you mean in general or with this project? What you would have to do once you download the project, it's already set to the correct settings for you. So there's really nothing you have to do. And whatever rendering stats you want to use is perfectly fine, although QuickTime I tend to use quite a lot. Make them sassy. Okay, we're getting a sassy one. I got my eyes. I want to add like a little line to be like, I just need, because it doesn't have nails. We're not going to spend time to make nails. So I just need my baby to be sassy. We could totally add like some makeup on this one. Why is makeup and sassy related to me? I'm not sure, but you know, here we are. Okay, these are going to be it. These are the eyelashes, okay? So we've got an eyelash. I'm not too worried about the anchor points for this because they're not really moving. We got this one here. Oh, wait, hold on. Maybe it's in the wrong place. Maybe I should stick it up there. One there. Yeah, this is it. This is it. This is it. And rotating this one. Now, don't forget what you choose to do with your one, whatever adverb you're going to add on yours is perfectly fine. And I can't wait to see it. We're going to flip it. Drag it over to the other side. These don't really move. So their position's going to be A-okay. Fierce! Yes. Absolutely. Okay, so we got the eyes on this one. The eyes are on fleek. There we go. It's already blue. Let's make it white. Make sure that it's connected to the head, which is here. What is this one? This is nothing. Let's get rid of that. We've got right eye, left eye. Perfect. Oh, Ezen. Hello, lovely. Ezen said, I have 3 years experience in After Effects. That's wonderful. Honestly, you know what I've noticed is, because there's some apps that I've used for years, is that there's always more learning for you to do. Like, it never ends. Let me pop a little bit of blush on that. A little bit of pink cheek. Let's turn off the stroke. There we go. Move the other one to the other side. We don't really need to worry about the movement of these. And I kind of want that sassy face. The evil eye, I mean, not intentionally. Okay, how can I make these lips? I want it to look really unimpressed. So we didn't actually need to go back in. Hold on. Doesn't look impressed. It already doesn't look impressed. My ghost is not happy about anything. Like, what? Oh my gosh. I think it's the eye. Mine has a line for a mouth. Now it looks judgy. Yes. Okay, so your one's judgy. Mine's gonna be unimpressed. So we've got the beginnings of the shape. We've got lips. We've got cheeks. These two also changed, so let's change these back to a pink. We'll call them cheeks. You can't hide your judgy eyes. Thankfully, Ezen, when you're working, it automatically improves your skills. Every single thing you do. Okay, so right now I'm adding a null. A null is an empty space that allows us to control things. I'm all about control, especially now that you're doing stuff in a trickier way. So when you make more of your facial features, eventually you're gonna need a main controller. So let's make a null object. The easiest way to do that is to right click an empty space, go to new, select null. I'm gonna call mine face driver. Let's drag it anywhere, it doesn't matter where it goes, but I'm gonna connect all of these to the face, and then the face is gonna be connected to the head. Now there is a reason for this. Now, I can safely move all of the features without worrying where my stuff is going. You might say, why are you moving the features? There's a good reason. I want my character to turn, so I'm gonna fake it with masking. My voice is too precious to scream, sassy ghost! Ezen said exactly. Starting here, there's too much to learn, but sometimes learning stops. Trying to learn more? No, learning never stops. There's always more to learn. We never get it done. We're always on the go. Okay, so I want these to be hidden by the face. The ghost head is only this big, so I'm gonna use the ghost body instead because there's more of it. So let's select all of our face layers. We're going to go to toggle switch modes, and we're going to click and drag it onto ghost body. I know the ghost body disappeared. Just turn the eyeball on the ghost body back on. So now, if we move this off the screen, the face can appear. We're going to do a little bit more than just that though in 1 second. So I'm just going to put a position down here because I do like where it is. And let's hide the face. So I want the face to turn around when the ghost bounces. That's my cue. That's the timing. So let's put an easy ease on it. And then she can make the mouth go like, Hi, RB, welcome. We're making a sassy ghost. Okay, so we've got our sassy ghost. And because we made this out of pen, we can actually adjust it without having to do too much more to it. So let's select our lips, make sure your pen is selected, go to content, shape, open path, and keyframe the path. We're gonna do a little bit more than just the face turning if we've got time. So I've keyframed the path. So now make sure you shift select. If you don't, the whole mouth will move. So I'm shift selecting, and I'm dragging that lip out. I'm dragging that lip out. Well, thankfully, Ezen, with the internet, there's always more stuff to do. And with art, it's not really a competition. The end goal is always the same. The desire to create what we see in our mind's eye, right? Okay, so we've got this. Let's see if we can find a good time for it to come in. Looks like it's got to happen after. Let's move this one up as well. Wait, hold on. Sassy. It's more like that, right? Like you wouldn't be happy. Okay. So we've got a bit of a sass. I'm going to copy and paste this so I can adjust the time that it's happening. If we made the eyes a separate layer, it would be much easier to make them blink, but we can do the exact same thing. You love this so much. Yay! Let's open the contents. Let's open the shapes. We're doing the exact same thing. Let's do the path. we will grab the top half of the eyes, drag it down to make it look like it's blinking. Copy the first keyframe and pull it back. And stick an easy ease on it as well. Oh my gosh, we can just hold it there. Stick a keyframe there, copy it, move it over, and just drag it out. Oh no. Okay, this is the right one. This is her frown. She's not impressed. She said, I heard what you said. I heard what you said. This is hilarious. Okay, and we'll do the scale to match. We can absolutely do a mask, but I'm trying to manage the time. Make sure you move your anchor if you've noticed that it's moved in a way you don't want it to. And I'm just gonna make it smaller. Probably move the position down as well. F9, yes. F9 for the smooth. Did I save it before? Yes, I did. Good. Let's move the eye down. Let's try to make it look like she's looking at us. And F9. She said, You did what? You want me to go where? She said, who are you talking to? That's what she said. Who are you talking to? We can make these eyelashes be connected, although they're not technically moving with anything. If it wasn't the path that was moving and it was an actual shape, we could connect them to it, but there isn't, so we're just gonna have to move it ourselves. We can have that open back up a slightly bit more. Hi. Hi, Louis. I've experienced in Photoshop and Illustrator. However, After Effects was a bit complicated for me. Any tips to start learning? This is the perfect place. Louis, I have a series, even though this is the 3rd season now, I have a series called Animation 101. This is 201 for slightly advanced, but 101 teaches you After Effects and animation from the very beginning. So you'll have mini games like these ones that I've got here that you'll be able to practice with. And then you'll also be given homework to make your own sort of mini game. Since you're an illustrator, you'll be able to illustrate something and then learn your tips and tricks or put what you've learned into effect directly afterwards. So check the description of this YouTube video and you'll find lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, lesson 4. You can download your files for each of those there when you head over to that stream as well. Otherwise, you can check out Pixipui on behance.net and I have the video and the files there too. But that way you can start from the top and make your way down. Okay, so we got the eye blink. I really like it. I like it. I don't want to do it again on the other side. So what I'm going to do for the sake of time is I'm going to get rid of these two because we got the gist. We got the gist. We don't need this. We don't need this. We don't technically need this one or this one. We've already animated it. So we have to work smarter, not harder. Let's grab all the stuff we just made. Flip them over. I'm going to make another null. Sometimes when you flip an object that's already got an animation on it, it tends to animate the flip, which is not good. So let's go to null. I'm going to change the color because I don't have time to name them. Go to null, pop the null down below. Select all of them, connect them to the null. Make sure the null's connected to the head. Otherwise, it's not going to all move together. And then we can flip it. There we go. So now, she looks unimpressed. But I'm going to have to connect it to the other null, I think. There we go. Now we've got the movement over. Her eyes are not happening here. So let's fix her eye position. Because that's a little, there we go. Cool. We'll go with this. We'll accept this. Because you've got 3 more to see. So now she comes in from the side. She's not happy. She slides down. And what we can do, since we're not changing the face on this one, we can go to the lips or whatever your main feature is, grab position and drag upwards. So it kind of looks like she's a little bit more miffed, more unimpressed. Let's add the slow down on that too and let's drag it out. There we go. unimpressed ghost. You're feeling fantastic? Oh, Sam, thank you so much for waiting. Oh, thank you, Voodoo Val. Louis, Voodoo Val just popped down lesson 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the chat for you. So please go ahead and grab those there. All right, number 2 is done. We can go back and tweak these later, but for now, we'll consider it golden. We've turned a simple coming towards the screen into a sassy ghost. If you've got any other adverbs, chuck them at me. We'll see if we can do them. I like this one. Thank you. Number 3, rest day. Now my bunny is resting. Well, I thought it was a simple rest. However, it's really windy and they're not happy about the wind. So it's down to us to add the secondary action. Now the bunny doesn't have to be scared of the wind. The bunny could just be actually chilling. But this bunny is nervous. The knee was fidgeting. What are my PC specs? Oh, I've got it on. I can't share the other screen, not while I'm on the thingamabob. But it's a PC that's made to do 3D. Is all I can say. It's got an Asus motherboard, that's all I know. Don't really know the rest. You got an S? Wow, well done, Sam. If you've got any other adverts for us, let me have it. That's a good... You know what, Efren? What I'm going to have to do is make sure I have it prepared, because people ask me that a lot. I will find out. I will find out. Yeah, I will find out. It's quite old. I made this PC maybe 2-3 years ago, and it still holds up by doing things on After Effects quite well. So you don't necessarily need the modern stuff. I think I've got an i7. i7. Anxiously. Okay, that kind of works because that's pretty much what we had before. Okay, so an anxious face. When you're doing facial expressions, look in the mirror or do it yourself. You'll feel what the shape is. So that shape that I got, it's kind of like a upside down U. So let's go to stroke. Let's make sure the stroke is on. Make sure we don't select anything. If you do, it might end up taking the color away. Sleepily. Mike, you're giving me too many. I'm going with your first one. Okay, so I'm going to click here. I'm going to click again and drag. When you click and drag with the pen tool, it allows you to make curvy paths, which is exactly what I want. All right, so I've got my eyebrow. To make it do this rounded ability, all you have to do is hold Alt and drag. I'm going to the contents. I want the round shape of the path. To do a round shape, all you have to do is go over to contents, shape, not path. We want stroke and change the butt cap to a round cap. There we go. Solemnly. I should have my PC specs. I will, Sam. That's a really good shout. Okay. We've got the right eyebrow, which we could absolutely, after we've animated it, go ahead and duplicate it then. Let's flip that around, rotate it up. Now, because I didn't put the anchor where I should have, it's rotating from a far away place, which we should fix, and we will later. Now, both these eyebrow eye pings are going to move in the same time, so I'm going to select them and connect them back to one eyebrow. Less work while still doing 2 actions. There we go. At the moment, though, the eyebrows aren't connected to the face, and the face is something that is hidden. So what you could do is unhide it by clicking that hide all face layer. Find it in the list, which is the face BE, or you can select both of these. Head over, oh no, we're doing the one that doesn't have a link. Head over to the first brow, find face. There we go. So now it's connected to it. So you've got 2 ways to look for it. If you've labeled it well, or maybe you've done it in an easy way, selecting it via the tab might be easy. Do you have a screenshot of yours? Oh, Sam, that's really useful, actually. All right, so we've got our eyebrow pieces ready. We know how to make the eyes as well. There's no pupil in there, so let's make it black. We'll keep the stroke on just so there's less for us to tweak. Oops. Make sure we leave the ellipse tool, otherwise we can just end up making loads and loads of ellipses, but it means we won't really have proper control over any of them. So I'm going to call this the left eye. You can duplicate that, move it over to the right. Oh, little bunny, and we'll connect them to the face as well. So now, if we went from here, P full position, this is where you get to act it out. If you're not sure how a nervous act might be, you can either look up references for nervousness, or you can act it out yourself. Then you'll feel, okay, how would this work? What's the best way to show this? I want my bunny to relax, have the eye look one way, look the other, be shocked. Okay, so we've got the eye, we look one way, make him yawn. Oh, yeah, it's an anxious bunny that's yawning. Okay, so if we have the yawn happen in the beginning, when we yawn, we normally yawn with our eyes closed. So let's grab the position. We only need to do one. Grab the position of one. We'll put them down. We'll make it hold. So that's copy and paste. And then we'll bring it back up again. Make sure we F9. That gives us an easy, smooth. Oh. And then the eyes can come back up. To hide the eyes in an easy way, what we're going to do is make a shape. So I've got my pen tool. I'm making a shape that goes along the top of here. Don't worry about the way it looks. It'll be perfectly fine. We're going to grab this, make sure it's connected to the face as well. We can hide this. And let's select both of the eyes. Make sure toggle switch is on and drag them on the shape layer. And if we click this, hold on, let's check that it's actually in the right place. Oh, it's in reverse. Oh no, hold on. We can actually do it in reverse. Here we go. There we go. There we go. So once you've connected it, all you have to do is select this other button. That's the inversion button. Funny looks stressed. I know. The link for lesson 3 didn't work. Oh, okay. That's a bit weird. If you check out the description of this box, of this video, that should probably be a little bit more legit, and then I'll go and tweak it. Thank you for letting me know that. So now we've actually got to animate the movement of the mask going down too. Hold on. She says. Oh. Oh, right. Make sure it's on the normal alpha mat, then you can invert it. Cool. Well, if you want to, we can kind of do it the other way. I think this is better. Okay. So I want it to reveal. When the eyes go closed, it hides. We can totally match this up with this until we tweak it to get a better result. Stoic. You said make the expression yourself to the reference, but I'm rather an expressionless person. Yeah, that's stoic. They call that stoicism. Oh, you know what? Let's pull it down instead of the other way, because that way that kind of works more with what we're looking at. Okay. It needs to happen a little bit sooner. A little bit sooner. You can absolutely go in and tweak more of this. Let's say we've got that yawn going on for a little bit longer. And then we would have a circle mouth. Oh, little bunny. This is a good idea. Bunny face. Put a little mouth on it. Let's say we didn't have the mouth before. So we can put the scale to 0. And then when the eyes go closed, we can drag it. Oops, make sure we move our anchor. Otherwise, it's going to scale from a random position. We can make it a lot bigger. And then reset it. So I'm going to select all of my keyframes and do an F9. I want that to hold much longer. And it looks like the eyes come back after a certain point. Not yet, though. too soon. Maybe about there. If you make a better guideline, maybe just a normal rectangle, it will work much nicer. If you have made a shape and you don't quite like it, you can absolutely go back in, adjust your pen tool to help you. Because at the moment, that shape is really not working out. There we go. So we've got a little, oh. We've got the eyes coming back up. We've got a bit of nervousness going. I keep thinking the nose in his mouth. Oh yeah, it does kind of look like that without anything else in place. We could add a line going through as well. We've got F9 again, but I want this to hold a bit longer. So we'll separate the dimensions. If you right click position, you can separate the dimensions for your pieces. We're going to select all of them. Make sure you press V for your normal mouse movement tool. And we're going to click the ease out and just drag it to the right. That's going to hold it longer. So now we've got a, a little bit of a shock to the side, But I'm going to leave the rest to you because we don't have long to see the other two. So, lesson 4. Staircase. We've got somebody going up the stairs. It's down to us to decide how they go up the stairs. In the example that I had below, I changed a simple walk up the stairs to an angry walk up the stairs. So we've got the walking. I know when people get angry, they tend to haunch over and kind of clench in a little bit. So if you're on lesson 4, head on over to body upper. We might have less lessons next time because I think the harder it is, the less lessons we can have, the more in depth it is. The stairs are too much. If you select the rotation for the body, click the graph editor, you can pretty much change what's already there. If we click and drag, we can change this upright walk into a haunched over walk. So now it kind of looks like they're a little bit sad. We might go with a sad walk, you know. Let's change the head. When people are really sad, they tend to dip their head in as well. So let's go to rotation. Let's grab some of these. This kind of helps with our secondary action as well. If you added in an upset face as well, maybe a blowout, like when people are really upset, the kind of that would actually work too. But let's dip the head down. This is really dramatic. She's really upset. It is challenging, but I put a pin in it and I'll do the other projects later. No rush. Yay! So we've got the head. We've got the arms down. We might have time to just tweak the forceps. We've got 3 minutes left, apparently. But I think you lot get the gist. It's now taking what you know and adjusting it to give us something else. So let's take our rotation. I'm going to change this as well. I don't want it to be so full on. Just lessening the movement. Ooh, that's a bit creepy. Lessening the movement will still allow it to work, but not be as full on. Artisha, welcome, lovely. We've been going through how to do secondary action with these mini games that I've made for you, and we've got time to look at number 5. Pizza Boy. The primary action is riding the bike. Now, the secondary action can be whatever you like. In this case, I've chosen for the Pizza Boy to be really tired. So tired, they've actually got a little sleep bubble on the nose. Still not working for you? Oh, okay. Thank you, Uma. I'll make sure that it's tweaked for the next time. Oh, we're on lesson 5 now, aren't we? There we go. I'll make sure it's tweaked for the next time. Oh, thank you, Susan. That's a bit bizarre. Now, this is going to kind of be left down to you because we kind of ran out of time. I think we only have time to do 3 lessons, maybe, to get the full effect. But you get the gist. I would like to see what you do with these different class projects. And there's something in it for you if you do, and if you at me in the Adobe video Discord. So it's time for the conclusion. Conclusion. Your homework is complete the minigame homework use secondary action on an animation of your own, and if you'd like to have your work featured in the next lesson to show off the skills that you've just learned, join the Adobe Video Discord and at Pixipui with your animation. Now stay tuned because we've got Motion Design Hotline coming next. Thank you so much for hanging with me. I hope you got your animation fix in. See you 2 weeks Monday. Bye.